Hello everyone, I hope all you're doing great. In this video, we're gonna learn how to draw this spacer design. As we mentioned before, the first important thing to do is to study dimensions and set a plan and strategy how to draw any project, even if it's a simple little project or big project, but you need to set the plan and the strategy of doing your project. As you see here, we do have lines, we have circles. The first thing we need to draw this line, these horizontal lines, we need to make sure they are horizontal. So we need to use the polar tracking. As you see here, the polar tracking should be on, and we need to decide which angles we are using. Since we are using only horizontal or vertical, I'm gonna set it to 90, 180. The second thing, we do have points. In order to draw correctly, we need to set the object snap. So I'm gonna put the end point and the midpoint since I'm gonna use them. Also, I'm gonna put the perpendicular. I will show you how to set the perpendicular and how to use it. This is very important in some of the exercises to set it on. So we have end point, midpoint to get the middle point of any line, and the perpendicular if you need to draw lines perpendicular 90 degrees. After we set that, we need to look at the dimensions. So here we have the diameter. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. And again, this symbol is diameter, it's not radius, so be careful when you draw it. Here we do have 3 parts. Actually, the whole thing is 6, but it's divided into 2 parts, 2, 2, and 2. We do have some lines, so it's better to draw it with 3 segments, or we can draw it as 6, then we divide these parts. There are always different ways to do the job. Now we need to set the units. Before we start, the units here is decimal. To set the units, we do have different options. From the decimal down here, we can click on it and choose decimal. If it's architecture, we put it decimal. Usually the default is decimal. If it's not there, the units, as we mentioned before, we can check customize bar here and choose the units that we have. If it's not there, so the units here, if it's not checked, you will not find it there. So make sure it's a check to find the units. Another way to change the unit from the application menu, and we have the drawing utilities, and we have this units here. Okay, or you can simply type on the command line units, enter, and get the same dialog box. Change that, make it decimal. The precision is 2 decimal points. As you see in the picture, we have 2 decimal places. So we need to make that 2. Then when we finish, we hit OK. Now let's start. We do have different ways to draw this spacer design. We can set the snap and count the squares as we did with the other exercises. So we can do it, but I need to show you another way to draw this simple. The first thing, let's start with the lines, 6 points. So I'm gonna start with the line command from the home tab, or L, enter to start the line. So we have line, pick any point on the screen using left click. Now make sure you're drawing horizontal lines. So when you see these dashed lines, so this is the tracking, the polar tracking on 0 degrees. This is a polar tracking on 90. As you see on the screen, it's 90. So I need to draw lines, horizontal lines with 0 degrees. Now we just give the direction. Okay, this is the easiest way. Give the direction. I'm going to the right. Make sure you're putting the line on 0. You have the tracking line. Then you put the 6. You put 6, enter. Okay, so now we draw this line. I'm gonna end this command now and just try to move that line so we get out of this a little bit. Okay, so here you go. I do have the first line, 6. Now I need to draw another line. The second line should start exactly at the end point. That's why the object snap should be on and we have the end point. Otherwise, if it's not on, so most likely the drawing is not accurate. Okay, now I need to decide how much I need to go up. If you look closely to this picture here, the radius of this circle is 1.5. That makes this length 3, which is double the radius. So I can go up, set the direction and type 3, then enter. Okay, so direction and enter. Now I need to go to the left, and as I told you here, we have a chance to make it 3 segments, 2, 2, 2, or make it 6. If we make it 2, it's easier in this case. So let's make it 2, enter. Now we go down 0.5, then another 2, then I can go up and track this point or just put 0.5. Look how I track it without clicking. I just go to this point without clicking and get the lines. Okay, so I can just track the line this way and hit the point when they intersect. Then I can track it as well. Okay, I can track it if I don't need to put 2, or just type 2 and then see enter, or just find the end point. Is very important to get the object snap activated. Now we finish this part. Okay, we need to draw these circles. The one in the middle, two of them, and the circles. Actually, I'm gonna draw them like arcs instead of circles, or I can draw them circles and use the trim. Let's do that. I'm gonna draw the first arc. I will use arc, start, center, end. Since I have the center, so I need the middle point of this line. So start, center, end. This is start. I need to pick the correct point. This is the start. And then I need center, end. Counterclockwise. So start, center, end. Now I need to draw the circle in the middle and the radius. These circles have the same radius, 1.5. So I will go and draw the circle here. I have the diameter, so I'll choose the center diameter. Midpoint, look at the triangle here, that represents a midpoint. I will get that only if I have the object snapped set to midpoint. Okay, so midpoint, and then I type 1.5 and hit enter. So this is my circle and this is the arc. Now I need to draw the second circle. I have 2 options. I can use mirror, just to mirror that part to the other one, or draw it one more time. Okay, so I'm gonna mirror that. To use mirror, I click mirror on the modify, then I follow the command line, select objects, which objects you need to mirror. I select with left click, I click on the circle and the arc. Now both of them are selected. Now still they are asking the command line prompt select objects. I don't have any more objects, so I have to hit enter since I don't have any more object. Specify first point of mirror line. First point, I have a vertical line from here down here. Specify second point, I click. Okay, now the last thing, erase source objects. If I need to erase the source, I put yes, otherwise no, which is the default. To accept the default, I hit enter. So I have 2 parts. If I need to delete the lines, this one and this one, I can select them and hit the delete button. Okay, I think that's all. You can save the work. I'm not going to draw the lines in the middle. We'll talk about the line types later in another video. But for this one, only you need to draw the circles and you draw the arcs. Thank you for watching. Be sure to save your file as you click on the application, then save, and you can give it a name, the spacer design. And make sure you know where did you save it in the document, or just navigate to the desktop or any other place. Then you hit save, and now you saved it as you see here, the name it changed from document to spacer design. And that's it for this exercise. Thank you for watching.